and policymakers communicating why people have to pay for this change. Because they didn't ask for it, the public didn't say it, they've got it imposed on them. I just open that to anyone to answer.
Let me explain. I think at the beginning, when I look at, let me take an example out of Germany. At the beginning, we had a very large consensus. Yes, we want to do it. And it was over all the parties. And the people were very engaged. And then suddenly they felt that when you draw a line after 10 years in the energy transition, and you look where we stand, you recognize that the results were not there. So people start to question. And then people start to finger point, and politicians are looking for campaigns, so they're looking for voters. And we recognize that that's an ugly game, you know. So we lost the communication. And I think, you know, it's a complicated matter for politicians. I have great respect for them because I think, you know, everyday guys like me are coming into your office and say, you know, we can do, and it's complicated. Yeah. But if you don't have a plan, and if you don't plan, and if you don't communicate your plan properly, you will lose. You will lose your own employees, you will lose your voters.
Colette, I'll bring you back onto that point there.
Yeah. Okay, so I go back to 2007, 2008, when I first became acquainted with the field. And in those years, climate change was at the top of the political agenda as well. And we agreed in Europe on our energy and climate targets. If I look back at what we've done right and wrong, I think we all say today that digitalisation is having a huge effect, and it should always have had. I think there's a huge amount of technology there actually, and I don't think, technologically speaking, there's too much challenge. But I do think from the policy point of view, and I'm criticising ourselves here, that we still are too siloed in our approach. I mean, why don't we have demand response in Europe? And why don't we have dynamic pricing nowadays? We've all the technologies, you know, they're there. We've standards, we've everything ready, but we don't have demand response. We don't even have smart metering rolled out. If up to a couple of years ago, we didn't even have a definition of what smart meter was, although we had a directive dated 2009 asking member states to roll out smart meters to 80% of consumers by 2020. So I think we do need to be less siloed. I think we need to view digital as an integral part of energy, of this transition from the beginning. And the message that I would give to people in the audience is, because we are siloed on the policy side of things, come to us in the digital part of the Commission as well as to DGN, and give us your views too, and force us to act there too.
Okay, all right. Let's open it up for questions. Questions, can we get some microphones over, please? You can,